please like and subscribe.
Welcome back to another Crypto Bros
And a Holly Girl.
podcast number 67.
67.
67.
How was everybody's week?
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
had a
sore.
great week.
I'm really sore.
Adventures.
I'm not even going to ask you what you did to be sore.
I just want to sleep.
Yeah, Caleb's in the process of moving, so that's been an adventure.
Yeah.
Fun. I like that.
My daughter hit a deer
Yeah, and Caleb's daughter smashed a deer.
real bad.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah. Still don't know how much that's going to cost to get fixed, do you?
Probably after the podcast, I'll find out. We'll
I was
see.
going to ask, is it like, how much is it going to be, or is the car totaled?
Officially, I don't think it's totaled, but if it costs too much to fix it,
It's going to be.
It looks
Yeah.
bad.
it
looks
looks
totaled.
really bad, but like the frame and everything's good, so we'll see.
But small town auto body guy might be able to get it fixed cheaper.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I hope.
It's pretty bad, though.
It is pretty bad.
Like, radiator fluid was dripping out the bottom of it whenever she pulled in. I was like, shut it off.
Yeah.
It's going to overheat. It crushed the radiator.
Yeah.
I don't know how many holes it has in it, but it's bad. And Holly, you got new internet.
I did. No more freezing. Although, I froze in like a pretty good pose. Even Meg, he was like, you look beautiful in that pose. Like, I'll
Yep.
take it.
Yeah, that was funny because you're like, it's okay if it freezes. I'll be in a pretty pose. And then you just kind
And
of
then
like,
he did.
And
Like, I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know how I timed that as perfect as I did, but
and I thought my impression of Holly's "Be Kind" at the end was spot on.
Yeah.
No?
Nobody does it like Holly. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's true. It was pretty bad.
You did. It was.
But out
for
of
what
like
it
the
was.
70 some views we got, I think like the four of us are the only ones who probably even made it that far in the podcast anyway. So
Wow.
Damn.
wait,
The support.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our biggest fan right here, I guess.
that's me.
Yeah.
I watch it on 2 accounts.
Spotlight.
When we go to bed at night, I tell the wife, I was like, "Oh, you need to watch the podcast tonight." Okay. Sets it down on the nightstand and goes to sleep. I tell you what, if everybody out there would just do that, we'd be monetizing a day.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because we have a lot of videos, a lot of hours out there. So
Yeah, we do.
we'll keep trucking along until we get there.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Maybe.
So,
Yeah.
are we ready for some good, the bad, and the ugly?
Yeah. I guess if y'all are ready for it. All right.
All right. You're always so late
I
with
know.
that. Like, it's like you need to play it ahead a little bit.
I know. I always forget till she starts dancing.
All right, so the good, the bad, and the ugly this week is going to be not too much different than, but it's going to be a little bit more general.
Ooh,
So the good, for me, is the market. I feel like that the market is holding. It's not crazy. There's some steady increases. There's a few decreases. But XRP jumped up to around 84 cents last week. It's holding at about 77. I have some Doge that it's going up. I've seen, the ones that are on the downward, they're like 1% to 2% instead of, there's no crazy like 12% drops or, of course everybody would be awesome with a 12% increase, but you're not seeing huge market fluctuations right now, which I think is awesome. And along the lines of that with XRP holding kind of where it was at, I've been reading and doing a lot of research this week, and there are a lot of banks that are starting to get on board and saying, yeah, this is going to be what we're going to use. So I think that you are going to see that hit $1.50. I've seen different predictions where they're talking about it kind of settling in around 70 cents and before it makes another massive run. But they think when it does make its next run, it's going to be pushing $1.50, which would be awesome.
100.
Be 100% increase basically.
Yeah.
But also ETH just came out today and said that they're going to be in cahoots with XRP with some projects. Yeah.
Cahoots. I like the word.
There was a the guy that wrote the article actually said if everything, and it was very, very vague, okay? So I'm not going to get into what it said, but if it actually goes down the way that they're talking about, they think that it could 100x it, which is insane. So usually when you start talking about 100 or 1,000x, I stop listening because it's just not very realistic.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see what that turns into. Plus, people like DeSantis are saying that if he's elected president, he's going to back the U.S. dollar with Bitcoin, which all the Bitcoin ETFs that are coming out, more and more people are filing for them. I've been seeing things out there that says that they think it's going to hold around 30, look for it to slowly get to 50, but then it's going to increase to like 150 with, they believe, within the next 12 months to be somewhere around 500,000. Which if that happens, you got to remember, especially on the BSC chain, how many people have Bitcoin tied to their liquidity pools. So that could be huge for everyone involved, not just people holding BTC.
Yeah.
So if that...
Go ahead. I thought you were done.
I am. Ladies first.
Oh,
No, so I was just going to ask you guys don't think that we're going to go down a little bit more again for one last time before the bull run comes? Do you think that it's gradually go up?
No, I do think we will go down again. I just don't think we're going to get down to the lows that we were at. I don't think you're going to see, say, Doge at 5.5 cents. I don't think you're going to see XRP in the 30 cents. I think you may see XRP reach 60 something, is my guess, because if it gets into the 60s, that's when this guy's going to start buying a lot more. But I think you're going to see a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a kind of downward trend across the board. But I don't think it's going to get to where it was even like 3 months ago. I think we're going to start new floors, and it'll be higher than it was before. That's my guess, and that's just from researching and reading. But if I knew 100%, then I'd be rich.
Right.
True.
We'll see.
yeah.
But, you know,
I'll be
you
rich.
can study the market and you can study trends and you can kind of see how things are going. And there's a lot more excitement behind blue chips right now than there ever has been. But what a lot of people don't understand is when those blue chips are doing well, it does have a trickle-down effect on some of the other meme coins or whatever you want to call them, based on where they put, you know, some of their liquidity into and things like that. So, because I have people ask me all the time, it's all rigged, right? Because when Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up. It's like, no, the reason it does that is because they've actually taken some of their money and invested it in a Bitcoin to help with stability of pricing and things like that. So I really do think this is going to be an exciting time. I do think we'll come here in a couple of weeks and we'll be like, a lot of red candles this week. But I don't think you're going to see massive drop-offs. I think we are on the verge of this. I don't want to call it mass adoption because I think we're a ways away from that. When we're at like 2% of the world's invested. But think about this. What happens when 4% of the world gets invested or 10% of the world gets invested?
Right.
That's an unbelievable amount of money, right? So those of us that are invested now, I think we're going to see some green candles. And like you talked about last week, Holly, we're going to be faced with some hard decisions. Like, do I want to sell this at $100,000 or do I think XRP is going to get to $10? Well, if I do, am I going to sell it too? And have some of those decisions like that too. So
What do you think?
Okay, so the bad. This may be a little bit of a touchy subject for at least one of us sitting at this table. Or in Arizona.
Wow.
But last week, we were promised an announcement from one of our favorite projects out there. And we got the announcement. But it wasn't that they were listing on an exchange or a name of a blockchain or anything like that. It was a water bottle and a mug. Raise your hand if you bought the water bottle and the mug. So, did you get the water bottle or the mug yet?
No, so I literally just ordered it 2 days ago. But I got a thing yesterday that it's already on its way. So it's pretty
sweet.
quick, which is great. And you know, again, ain't no shame in my game. I love cups and I love water bottles. You guys saw I had a sparkly one last week. Like,
Yeah.
I have so many that why not add to my collection? And plus, it's SafeMoon. Support.
So I
But-
don't hate the idea of the merch. I really don't. That's
Yeah.
cool. The
You hate
only
the idea
problem. What's that?
You hate the idea of the hype?
A little bit because
yes.
nothing's really happened price wise in a while. A lot of people are hurting, and I think a lot of projects, not just SafeMoon, but a lot of projects with their hype are not doing themselves any favors.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't hate it. It's cool, whatever. I'm still long term invested, but had to come up with a bad, and that was the only thing I could really think of
Okay.
because it was okay. I mean, it's cool if you're into that sort of stuff. I personally hate cups, like tumblers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start an anti-tumbler
Wow.
Oh, God.
plan
He does hate it.
because
You got
all they
time
do
out.
is take up space,
Yeah.
and my hands don't fit in them. I can't wash them, and it drives me insane.
High
Yeah,
school
right.
girls have a lot of
And
You see Holly's look.
yeah, so two teenage girls at home.
Yep.
All girls by each other are tumblers. So
What?
swear half of my walk-in pantry
I like
is full of
tumblers.
tumblers that no one ever uses.
that. Yeah. You can only use one at a time.
No, what
Yeah,
I'll
but
do,
you're not going to clean it before you dirty the other 20.
Yeah.
I'll actually post one day. I'll take a picture of my collection. You will hate it. Well, thank you. Like, I have like every color, sparkles everywhere, of course, every color shade of pink that you can possibly. I have so many.
And we may not be able to be
God.
friends anymore, Holly.
What is this,
Wow.
like one wall's shoes and one wall's tumblers?
Yes, see, perfect. Like,
Yes.
it's crazy because there's 3 things specifically that I'm addicted to, and one is cups, the other is shoes, and the third one is sunglasses. I have so many pairs of sunglasses that I don't ever wear. But I love them because they're cute.
Yeah.
So I picture, do you remember when Patrick Mahomes made his walk-in closet
The
where the
shoes.
shelves were like lit up for each individual pair of shoes, and it's his gigantic closet? I picture that for Holly, and her sunglasses and her tumblers is some gigantic, over-the-top, lit up, color-coded.
No, add on to our house so that I can have a room of just all shoes, and I actually
No.
a whole like yeah, oh yes, it's happening.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
That's, it has glass, and so you can see through it to see all the sunglasses. Like, it's specific, like what you see in the malls.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
getting one of those for all my sunglasses. And so
That's actually kind of cool.
I'm not
kinda
sure we
cool.
can be friends anymore, Holly.
That's a lot of
You know
sunglasses.
what?
I'm telling you, there's just certain things. Those 3 things make me really happy. Like, when it was a Prime Day, I bought 4 pairs of sunglasses because they were like, the higher end, but I got them for like $50. Coach glasses. I got another Tiffany pair of glasses. Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
What makes you happy besides unicorns and LOL cereal? The one thing that just
Green candles.
True that, touche.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I'm the dude that just doesn't like clutter. And I feel like when you have to add on to your house for anything, it's too much. Like, that's a problem.
It is something like it's either that or I take up a guest room or I take my daughter's room when she moves out. So
You left
makes me super happy inside.
you left out one option.
What?
Don't buy any more sunglasses or shoes.
No, absolutely not, she says.
Not an option.
That's not even on the table.
It is an
Fight you.
option. No. So to bring it back around, in all fairness, kind of a ha-ha, but for me personally, and I know that there were some other people I saw out there too that were just kind of like, a cup, And I think
Yeah.
our friend Dan even said, just to be honest, I didn't buy the effing cup, and I just put ditto, but I ain't mad about it. It's just, it is what it is. So
Yeah.
So the ugly.
Well,
Go
wait,
ahead.
Before that, in the defense of SafeMoon, because I defend him a lot, they did, say don't expect anything crazy. They did say that.
Agreed.
So I feel like the people who thought it was going to be, I got people saying, do you think it's the blockchain? I'm like, no, it's not the blockchain.
Nah.
And because, they give updates on that and we know kind of where they're at with that. So, but I feel like the expectations that people set for themselves was really a bigger issue than them releasing merch.
True, but part of that I think is fair. If you are do you have Kohl's where you live, Holly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're Kohl's
cash.
and you make an announcement, people expect it to be a new product, right? Or a new something you're selling. But when you're a tech company, why don't you just launch that without any hype? Just say, hey, we got new cups out. Just trying to look at the other end of the spectrum. Like I said, I don't really care.
Coming from.
Unless the tumbler was a cold wallet built in, that would be pretty badass.
It's not.
on your water bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just start scanning it. And, yeah.
Or maybe it is. They didn't say it. Someone's just gonna figure it out.
If they didn't say that, then there's a major marketing problem with that company.
What's this USB port on the bottom?
Yeah.
Plug it in. See.
Waterproof, so you can dishwasher safe. Yeah. All right, so the ugly. A little bit more practical this week on the ugly, because I've been talking to some people behind the scenes. One of them, a really good friend of ours, friend of the program, just friend in general. Actually consider him a brother. And he's not the only one, has voiced some frustration in with the way that things are going. Is I get an on-ramp set up, then it goes away, then I have to do it all over again with another company. It was trying to buy XRP, literally was in the process of it, I forget what the right word is, verifying when Binance said you can no longer deposit money.
Yeah.
So then that got stopped, but it was in transition, so it took a while for it to cancel. So then he's like, how do I buy it? And so I turned him on to a couple other places. He's like, and I have to go through all the same steps that I went through to set up my Binance? And I was like, yes. And I get it, right? We talked about this before when we first bought SafeMoon, how many steps there were. Now it's not as crazy as it was then. But for people that don't know anything about crypto, and you talk them into saying set up a Binance account, and they use it 2 or 3 times, and they start feeling good about it, and they start getting it, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Now they're like, I have to do that again? And especially when these people are setting them up when the market's not doing great in a bear market, and they've only lost money anyways, and now they're like, do I really want to go through the steps?
All right.
We were talking about, we play some poker games, and we have donations, how hard it has become just to transfer Doge, to find it, to be able to purchase it, just regular Doge, not Binance Paid or anything like that, and actually send it to wallets because of the hoops you have to jump through. Mm-hmm. So for me, people are talking about mass adoption. People are talking about, turning their friends on to different things. These are the little things, little but big, that have to get fixed. Because there are certain people, when you start telling them what you have to do, they're like, no, I'm not doing that. Then how many credit cards won't let you buy crypto? There's a ton of them. And so, and even certain banks won't let you. We were talking off the air how you said that people, and you were one of them, I have a friend that was one of them, opened a Capital One account just so they could buy crypto, and then now they won't let you do it. And some of these third-party providers are not the easiest people to set things up with. I've MoonPay, I've never had any issues with it, but I know a lot of people that have. Right. There's a lot of those sort of things going on that we really, really need to get fixed. Because we can hype up any coin, any token that we want to. Mm-hmm. And I don't say we, but the people that are making them, are sending them out there and all this stuff. But if people can't get their hands on them easily, then they're not interested. And then not only a lot of times is there a small tax associated to a token, But when you're using that third-party provider, there's also a fee on top of that. You know, even when Binance, if I put $1,000 in there, I usually had like $995. Instantly lose $5, which doesn't seem like a whole lot. But when you're talking to people that are trying to invest 30 or 50, and they're still getting hit with a fee, and it's taking them 3 days before they can move it, and this and that, we've got to get to some sort of common ground where we can. It's just easier for people.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's coming, but you know, we ran into a little bit of that, you know, when people will buy, you know, when XRP, it was on the SafeMoon swap, there was some confusion there on what that looked like, how you could see it, where you're actually holding it, and I think that's no one's fault. There's, like you said earlier, there's an expectation, but I'm hoping that this gets easier and easier and easier, because guys like my buddy who's invested what I would consider a significant amount is to the point where I'm not sure I want to do this anymore. Yeah. Then I get it. It's not just that. There's the combination of the red candles and the bear market, which is fine. But I know for a fact the dude would have a bunch of XRP already if it wasn't having to change his on-ramps.
Yeah.
And so when on-ramps also become harder to find, then off-ramps are becoming harder to find. You know, and it's just one of those deals that with all the good news going on in the markets, and you know, with the ETF, the BTC ETFs that are coming out and all that sort of stuff, there's still that hurdle that we got to get people across. So that's it. It's not the ugliest of uglies that we've ever had before, but it is something that I know has frustrated people that I care about, or people that I've been talking to for a couple of years about getting into the crypto market. So hopefully, and I honestly think there's probably some money being made there, but maybe when regulations release a little bit, there'll be more and more on-ramps, and maybe Binance will get back to the point wherever they can start to accept deposits again. And because Binance was one of the good ones, obviously, right? And you could buy it in its native phase, or whatever word you want to use there, and send it to whatever, or you could peg it, or there's just a ton of stuff that you could do there. And now it's a little bit harder. So that's it. Yeah. Anybody got any comments on any of that stuff?
No.
All right, then Holly, you're up.
All right.
It wouldn't make a very good private eye.
I know.
Your surveillance skills suck. Try to record Holly and
every time I try
like this, yeah.
I get her dancing.
All right, Holly.
Yeah.
One of these days.
All right. So today's I just love this one today. So I'm gonna read it, and then Josh, you can make your guesses. You might know who it is. So
I didn't pay attention to Twitter very well this week.
Uh-oh. Then maybe not. All right. So they posted, "Be the reason someone believes in goodness by embodying kindness, compassion, and empathy in your actions and interactions. Your positive influence can inspire others to see the goodness in the world and in themselves. Have a wonderful Wednesday." And then the cutest picture of them feeding, it's either an alpaca or a llama. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's but yeah, it's super cute.
It's down.
Yeah, so the picture part threw me. I was going to guess King 6, but I don't know.
No.
But no.
Who is it?
It's actually Hannah.
Oh, that's right. I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that.
She is on the newer side to crypto, to Twitter actually, but every single post has been so positive from her, and so far it's been every day. I mean, and she posts different pictures like this one, and then pictures of flowers that were super beautiful, and I just really like her, and I enjoy her content that she puts out there, and I feel like she deserved to be highlighted. And I believe it's Chris Vaughn's wife.
Yes.
Yeah, so she also has become a poker rival.
Yeah.
And I guess she used to play professionally, and she got me a couple weeks back, so I started following her. And But she's super positive, super awesome. So
She's so,
congratulations.
she really is super, super sweet. And I mean, I don't know. I find it funny when, I reach out to them and say, hey, can I use this? And it's just out of respect because, I mean, that's just what I do. And she actually was like, oh, yes, thank you so much. And it's like, no, not thank me. Thank you, for putting this out there. So.
And also, Holly, not just with her, but with other people. And I saw it actually a lot. I think it was yesterday. Somebody had posted something, and most of the comments were below it were, actually, it might have been you, Holly, that posted it. A lot of the comments that were below it were, thank you, I needed this today.
Yeah.
And it meant a lot to this person because we don't know what people are going through. And so sometimes it means the world to people. They just needed that little pick-me-up to go, all right, I got it. So that's awesome. Congratulations. And if you don't follow her because like I said a couple weeks ago I did, and her posts remind me a lot of like yours, Holly. They're very similar.
And you guys, I have to tell you, at least this week it was really hard to pick who to highlight. Because I've been seeing more and more people post good morning messages. That didn't in the past. So I'm not saying, I'm not taking credit for that, but it's a breath of fresh air to see that people are catching on and actually having that positive, that positivity first thing in the morning, because I can tell you it helps me. It's not always great to wake up and look at your notifications and see, somebody knocking on that. So keep doing your thing, because people really they need it more than I think they understand, because I know I do. So
people don't knock on your post first thing in the morning, do they, Holly?
yeah, this morning I had a post from somebody within the Area 32 group. I know that for a fact. And what's truly disappointing to me is that you're trolling somebody who really supports a community.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you not want me to support that community? Do you want to be the reason that people don't want to be part of it?
Yeah.
And it's really it's heartbreaking for me, because I started this whole journey through the SafeMoon community, and to see that people from the community need to make a burner account to troll me, to harass me, is pretty freaking sad. You're only hurting the project, and people don't realize that. And so, you're not going to stop me from doing my thing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to continue to do it, but just know, you're hurting the project that you're so down with by trolling people through a burner account. And I mean, I just, who the people who support this person specifically, I had to do what I had to do, because if you were in support of somebody trolling my kind tweets in the morning, I don't need to support you. And so I did what I had to do with everybody who was following that account. I just am done.
Well, I will tell you though, Holly, and I think you probably already know this, I think that says way more about them than it does you.
It does.
So,
it really does.
I would lose zero sleep over that. Yeah,
and that's easier said than done. Honestly. And I think that a lot of people forget that, we're all human and we all have emotion. Something that I am so I have always loved the SafeMoon community, always. And I've never really talked bad about it or bad about SafeMoon or anything. So it hurts my feelings that you're actually being mean to me after being, with the community for the 2.5 years that it's been around. And never would I talk bad about SafeMoon, but I can tell you that the community is putting a very salty taste in my mouth, that I don't feel the need to support them anymore. And that's really sad to me, because I do really love SafeMoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I, the real ones will be real. And I think the longer we're in the space, the longer that, we are doing life together, the more that we can figure out who the real ones are. And unfortunately, even in Twitter, because I think that at a certain level, Twitter will mirror life, that the real ones will rise but there'll be fewer of them than what we hope there would be.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's just kind of how it works, you know. I mean, let's just take our journey, for example, right? Just about 10 months ago, almost 10 months, or 11 months ago, we all got together, right? And it wasn't awkward. Like, we clicked pretty well right off the bat. But how much closer are we now than we were, like, even in the first month, right?
Right.
Even though everything clicked and we realized that everybody was being who they are and everybody's being truthful. But the more and more time you spend with people, you either figure out you're going to get closer or you're going to get further apart. Yeah. And some people will stay in the middle, but there are, and I'm not just saying you, Holly, there are people that I have met through this journey that I literally consider friends. And some of them I've never met, but we've traded phone numbers. We do things outside of Twitter, because the internet can be a very awesome thing. But there are other people that are very, very supportive that, you know, maybe I will never meet them or it won't go any further. But there's been a lot of people that started the journey very supportive that are no longer that supportive. Yeah. And that's okay too. But
you know, and that is okay. I'm perfectly okay with that. But on the flip side, you have to be okay to receive the same thing back to you.
Agreed.
Oh, and that's where the problem really lies, I think, is, okay, like, I'm okay, you know, if you block me. You'll never see me post anything, you know, on Twitter that says, oh, so-and-so blocked me and boo-hooing about it. You'll never see me do it. However, just know that if you want to block me, I'm fine with it, but be okay as well with me blocking you right back. You don't want to see my content, so what makes you think that I want to see yours?
Yeah. True. Where that gets messy, though, is whenever you try to go into spaces where people are hosting and you can't because of the blocks over what I would consider a lot of times being very petty. Oh, yeah. Because if somebody blocks us, if anybody pays attention to our Twitter account, I don't know why you would ever block us. But people do. And then sometimes there's spaces I can't get into because I've been blocked. And as far as I know, we've never blocked anybody on Twitter. I know we have on YouTube because of some very vulgar things that were said.
You blocked me.
But I have no idea who that person even is. Yeah, block Greg. But, so, that's cool and all, I guess, if you want to block people, but you're hurting your own community when you try to hold spaces when I can't get into them.
True.
Right.
Exactly.
So,
and the thing is, you know, with along those lines is, if you're a person who, you know, it needs to block people, maybe you should not be a co-host or a host of a space where, you know, you're supporting a project, because when it's all said and done, you're hurting that project. I've been not been in several spaces, but there are several spaces that I cannot get into because the co-hosts have me blocked. All fine and well, but I'm friends with the host. And I support the host because that's his or her project. But now you've exiled, you know, certain people because you chose to have that co-host who blocks everybody. So, you know, I mean, hell, if you are perfectly fine with your spaces being, you know, 50, 60 people, fine. That is on you. But do not, like, really don't wonder why your project is going nowhere, because you choose to have, you know, people who don't like others as your co-host.
Well,
that's just all there is.
And I'll be honest with you, just to show support, sometimes I'll just sign into a space, even if I can't pay attention to it, just to be like, hey, there's another number there. But then when it says you can't, it's like, all right, I'm not going to try again. So I quit doing that so often.
Oh, I can't even do that anymore. And the thing is, what people I think aren't realizing is the fact that, you know, it notifies you at the top of your spaces of who's in the space. Like, oh, Holly's in that space. So people will actually come in to see, oh, well, Holly's in here. Let's see what she's listening to. And without that, because you have, you know, people blocked, you're not going to get a distraction. So
You're
that's
right. Actually, I hadn't thought about that, Holly, because there's a lot of times the only reason I'll go into a space is because you're in there, or Caleb's listening, or Dragon's listening, or Whiskey's listening, or Chris listening. You know what I mean? Or it'll tell you they're speaking, and I'm like, oh, Hennessy's speaking. And sometimes I went into some Miami Hurricane spaces just because Hennessy was talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care about the Canes whatsoever. But Hennessy's in there, and I like Hennessy, so let's listen to what's going on. And I'm like, it's more Miami Hurricane crap. I don't care, so I'll leave. But I didn't even think about that. But that is a good point.
Yeah, and I was recently asked to be a co-host of one of the spaces that is out there, and I respectfully declined that because I said I have people blocked, and I'm not going to take that away from you. So I don't need to be there. If
A spoonful of sugar.
Full of sugar helps the medicine go down. Come on, Josh.
It's time for Caleb's choice.
His choice.
His rules.
It's real.
You may have nonchalantly caught it that time.
All right. I'm doing something different today. I'm going to do like trivia questions.
Oh,
It's your choice.
See who wins, and then Greg will buy. You guys have bought it.
Regardless, Greg will
Greg will buy
buy.
his own.
I see how this works.
All right. So earlier today we talked about that my daughter got in a car wreck with a deer.
Oh dear.
And the top state that has most wrecks with deers is West Virginia.
Yeah.
What do you think the last two states are? The least amount of wrecks in the United States.
Hawaii.
Of deer?
Of deer.
Hawaii.
Okay.
You want both of the answers?
Yeah, give me two.
Yeah.
Hawaii and Florida.
Okay.
Definitely Hawaii.
All right.
And I would say, I don't know, the second one. I'm going to say Rhode Island.
Okay. What about you, Holly?
Well, Hawaii is the first one that comes to, like,
Hawaii is
Yeah.
Hawaii is the last one. It's like 1 in like 30,000, and like I think Missouri was like 1 in
And-
170.
Dang.
and then the second one is the most.
No,
The two least.
What you
the
said?
two least.
Two least.
Two least.
Oh, the two least. Hawaii definitely, and New York.
Well, I
Oh
picked
no, then upstate New York
Yeah,
has, yeah.
I picked it because of you, Holly.
Definitely.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I almost,
It's Arizona?
it's Arizona.
I was tossing Arizona and New Mexico.
Arizona and Hawaii are the two bottom.
Oh, okay.
That's like Flagstaff area, all up northern Arizona has crazy elk. Is it specifically for? Well, no, there's
Just
deer
deer.
up there too. That's crazy.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I wouldn't either.
I thought I was money.
I was thinking New Mexico, but
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
almost guessed that. But then I thought Rhode Island because it was small.
All right. The next question is this:
Oh.
what two countries in the world doesn't sell Coke? There's only two countries that doesn't sell Coke. What are they?
Oh hell! Do
Korea?
you know how many countries?
There's just two:
North Korea
North Korea.
and Cuba.
I was going to say North Korea, and you said Cuba?
They're the weirdest governments.
I was going to say North Korea. I would also guess, fudge. I don't know. Holly, what do you got?
Well, North Korea for sure.
Is North Korea one of
Russia?
them?
Yes.
No, I think Cuba's the other one then because they both have weird governments.
I'm going to guess. Damn, that is hard.
Russia. No.
That's what I said. I said Russia.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Is it an Asian country?
No.
African.
I'm not. Just guess.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. Madagascar.
Okay. What were
shit.
yours, Holly?
Mine was North Korea and Russia.
Okay, it's North Korea and Cuba. Josh wins.
Heck yeah, buy me donuts.
I wasn't gonna pick Cuba because you picked it.
I honestly thought maybe after I said Cuba, it was something like Mexico or something.
No, I thought it was probably Cuba, but I didn't want to pick the same answer.
Okay.
I know for sure. That's the one I know for sure has Coke. Because they drink them in the
glass
bottles. Like
yeah,
the
that's good.
water bottles, yeah.
Yeah. All right, last one. What are the top 2 donut chains in the United States?
Dunkin'.
Krispy Kreme and Dunkin'.
Okay.
I don't know any others besides Krispy Kreme and Dunkin'.
There's.
It's got to be an obvious one I'm not thinking about.
Do you know, Holly?
I would say Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts.
Well,
Or I don't know if Bosa is a thing. Do you guys know what Bosa Donuts is or no?
No. What's that one
No,
that's
it
in
must not be a
Springfield that's
thing.
really fancy?
Daylight?
No.
Daylight's 4.
Is it?
Oh, I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
What's that one in
Bosa?
Springfield?
Those are fancy, though. Right?
Is that a national chain?
I don't think so.
Oh, I know they just got one in Kansas City, but...
So Dunkin' is number 1. They sell 30 billion donuts in a year.
Dang. I would have thought Krispy
Holy crap.
Something like that. It's something crazy high.
Wow.
And Krispy Kreme is 3. Number 2 is, I have to look again, Tim Hortons.
Oh, I never heard
It
of that.
started in Canada. He was a retired hockey player. And he opened up a restaurant. And then now it's a donut and coffee shop.
Wow. I would have guessed Krispy Kreme was top.
Is there a Tim Hortons around here?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of.
Do you have Tim Hortons in Arizona?
No,
No.
I don't think so. I've never heard of it.
That poll is bogus.
I was going to say, where did you get this
Yeah, 4
information?
people here that never even heard of Tim
Internet?
Hortons before.
I've heard of it. I've never seen one.
Actually, honestly, national chains, I think Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts are the only 2 I know.
That's my first thought. And then Daylight.
I feel like, yeah, but I thought,
Thank
honestly,
you.
I thought Daylight, Lamar's
That
Donuts.
was
Oh,
on there
Lamar's.
too. That was in the top 10.
Was it? Okay. I forgot about Lamar's. But I feel like donuts aren't really that big of a thing where we live.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Okay.
Here either, really. I mean, that I know of. It's not like a huge thing.
No.
Mm-mm.
All right, that's all I got.
Holly, what do you got for us?
That's all you got?
Yeah, just the trivia today.
Okay.
I'm the winner.
All
You owe me
right.
donuts.
So,
Yeah. Get upset. His
Yeah.
rules.
You owe 'em donuts. Just a dozen.
Just 2 dozen?
From Tim Hortons. So you got to drive like 300 miles to go get them.
Wow. Gosh.
All right. Sorry, Holly.
okay. What is the strangest thing you've ever found on the ground?
There's a lot of
If it's
strange things.
Well, at one time you and I were walking and we found like $400 of cash just laying all over the road.
Yeah.
We were like in junior high.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably
What'd you do with it?
Took it.
Well, we spent
Took
like
it.
100 of it and took everybody we were
And-
with to breakfast.
Yeah.
Started a fire with
Because I don't
it.
think we were in junior high.
You don't think so?
No.
Were we driving?
Yeah, but we weren't driving that night.
Were we in high school or college? I thought we were younger.
We were in Blue Springs
Yeah.
with a bunch of our cousins' older friends.
Yeah, we were just walking and we saw it looked like litter. And
like-
then Josh and I realized it was money, so we ran up and grabbed it.
Well, what was hilarious is there was all this money on the ground, and we just started like racing to grab it all. And I think, didn't you end up with like grabbing like
Ones
3 or
and
4
fives.
fives and ones? And I ended up, all the ones I grabbed were like hundreds and 50s and 20s.
And it was dark, you couldn't tell.
You couldn't tell, yeah, it was dark. I don't even know why we were walking in city streets like that, but we were. So yeah, that's kind of strange.
That is strange. Wow.
That is strange.
Man.
Ground.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything like strange.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a hard one.
What about you, Holly? What do we think?
Oh, I don't know. I never find anything on the road.
I mean, I've found money before.
Like, well, damn, this is going to really make us think. But I still didn't come up with, I don't know if I've ever actually picked something up. off the ground that was strange.
I'll tell
I
you.
mean, it would be strange to see a dead body. That happens all the time.
Not to me. I've never come across a dead body.
That happens all the time.
But I see on the news all the time where somebody's just walking or driving down the road. They see, something strange and they stop and it's a body.
That's because you live in the
I watch
desert.
a lot of Bitcoin.
That's what the desert's for.
Well, yes.
Mob
The
ties.
desert. Perfect place.
I was in a crawl space that they had. It was dark, and they had a life-size or 4-foot tall Barbie doll sitting in the corner. That was kind of freaky.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
We were crawling in the dark, and there's
That's
this body
cool.
sitting over there. It's like,
I found people's
That's
marijuana
really good.
stash on the ground before.
Oh, yeah. Jonah, you didn't smoke it, did you?
No.
Oh, shit. You smoked it.
Maybe.
That's
You know what?
dangerous.
So this isn't weird, but it's a true story, and it happened yesterday. I was weeding a flower bed. It's a gigantic flower bed at the church, and you couldn't see anything, right? And I was all knee deep, and I was just throwing weeds over my head, and I grabbed a hold of something, and I was like, because I kept thinking there was probably going to be a snake in there,
Yeah.
and it was a little tiny baby rabbit, smaller than this mug, and then I came across like 5 of them.
oh, really?
It scared me though, because I could have
What'd you
swore it
do?
was I just left them there. We became friends. They quit running away
He
after
helped
I
you
got
weed the
done.
garden?
They didn't help at all.
He didn't help.
You gotta feed him
No.
a carrot.
They didn't help at all. But they just quit running away. They just kind of like, oh hey, there he is again.
Animals. No snake, huh?
Well, I love that.
Yeah, if my wife would have been there, we would have 5 baby rabbits right now. But I was pretty sure the mom was close by,
No,
just
And-
keeping an eye on things.
And there
so
probably
I-
was a snake close by.
There probably was.
yeah.
Because it was like the little tiny baby rabbits when they don't really have ears, or at least they're not very big.
Yeah.
That's what these guys were.
Yeah.
Like they weren't running away anywhere. They could just kind of like hop a little bit. So
Yeah.
they were tiny.
Hop, hop. Well,
You're up.
all right. All right. We're going to talk about mythical creatures today. And we lost Holly.
And
There
she's back.
she is.
She's back.
Ooh, I think it was the government.
Yeah.
Back.
The government was trying to block us. So mythical creatures. Do you guys believe in mythical creatures like Bigfoot or Loch Ness
No.
or Cyclops?
No.
No?
No.
You think it's real?
I think some of them could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not now, but in the past they were around.
Yeah. What about like Atlantis? You believe in Atlantis?
No.
I don't know enough about it, but
Like, I believe all those mythical creatures were based off fact. Like, you got the Minotaurs, the Centaurs, the half human, half animal. I think those were all from a time way back when.
Maybe. Or do you think it's just their way of entertainment? Because back then they were writing stories and telling,
campfire stories and
Yeah.
stuff.
But what if it was like before God flooded the earth? Like what we think is the aliens that came down genetically altered things on this earth, and then God had to flood it. What do you think about that?
I've never read that in the Bible.
You haven't?
No.
It talks about the angels coming down.
Well, no, but he flooded the earth because of the sin of man.
Yeah, but the angels, the Nephilim, came down.
Yeah, but that's the only thing they've talked about is the Nephilim.
And then there were giants. It says there were
but that
giants
is
in
the
those days.
Nephilim.
I know, I'm just saying.
But it doesn't say anything about manitars or whatever you call them. Is that like the half horse, half human thing?
Yeah, or like you got stories of like Hercules and the old people.
Hercules.
Yeah. What do you think, Holly?
What is that? Is that from a cartoon?
No,
the
that's,
cartoon.
I have a hard time believing in those because I feel like, well, where are they now? Like, why isn't there any, way to
Some
create that
mutant.
now?
Yeah.
Like you can't have a half dog or half human, half horse. Like it's genetically impossible.
Is it? You think?
Yeah, because I feel like if it was, people would be it would be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also
Especially
go back to
nowadays.
the whole everybody's got a video camera in their hand now, and we have no good
We
footage
would
of
see it,
Bigfoot
right.
or the Loch Ness Monster or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
However, I really wish and hope that giants do come back. I think giants would be cool. It would be so neat, like even more giant than Caleb. Actual,
Well,
I think it would be amazing.
You wouldn't
I
be
wanna-
scared being so tiny?
No, I'm fast. I can move around it. Can't catch me. But it would be a nice giant, a gentle giant.
A gentle,
gentle giant.
Yeah,
Well, things used
maybe. I'm not sure you get to pick that.
I would.
Well,
She would
That's what I
find
say
one.
about all my animals. My animals would all get along, including my giant.
Why?
But I mean, when with a giant, do you just treat him like a person? Like, is it just?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
Does
We
everybody believe that giants were on the earth at one point
We
in time?
treat Caleb like a person.
Like you
True.
believe giants used to be here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what do you think? Like the stories, like fee fi fo fum, all those ancient little. Those were based off something. There were definitely giants. You believe in dinosaurs, right?
Well, what do you consider a giant? You talking?
I'm
8
talking
8 foot
like-
tall, or you
no.
talking like 30 foot
oh,
tall?
we're
talking-
talking like Game of Thrones giant.
Yeah, it's like 20 feet tall, maybe
Mhm.
bigger.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
They have
about-
found the hand tools of things that only that big could carry. You know what I
But
mean?
then what happened to them though?
And
Why aren't there like? Why wouldn't we still have them? Why no? They didn't reproduce to keep the chain going.
Well-
I don't.
There's pictures of them like uncovered, but then the Smithsonian gets a hold of them and shuts the dig sites down.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
there's tons of pictures of big giants, skeleton bones. They get shut down really quick, and supposedly goes to the Smithsonian
Oh.
because there's a history
know.
there that they don't want you to know.
Why though? Like I just don't understand why they wouldn't want us to know.
Agreed.
doesn't-
And I also think that scientists are not as smart as they think they are either. Because some of those bones, they could just be animal bones. And there are scientists out there that say that their carbon dating stuff is based on their own data. So it's not like they can compare it to anything. They just said, well, if it has this, then it's this old. But they're guessing. They don't know. I mean, I would think that if it is true, I could see, if you're talking about a 30-foot person, would have to have a gigantic food source to keep them alive.
Yeah.
And if there ever was a famine, they would be the first ones to
Well-
die off.
There were big things on this earth at one point, like super big. If you believe the dinosaurs were, do you believe the dinosaurs were real?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because there's bones.
You think those
But
are
you
fake?
tell me that you can reproduce what an animal looks like based on a pile of bones? How? You're guessing. You have no idea what that thing was. It could have been neon
So-
purple.
You think the things they have in the museums are fake?
Well, I actually know for a fact that some of them are fake.
You think they don't really, like a T-Rex, you don't think they've really found that
Ah.
I think
together?
they found some of the skulls, but
I don't
we're
think they
giving
found
it
a
the
full-
names. I don't know that they've ever. Yeah, they pieced together some of the stuff on that, and I know for a fact that some of the skulls are fake because was it The Rock that bought a T-Rex skull and then found out it was made out of like plaster or something like that?
Yeah.
All right, I see where we're going. So maybe this whole dinosaur thing is fake, and they're pushing the evolution agenda.
Maybe, but they're stupid if that's what they're doing because that wouldn't convince me.
What about the? There's stones in South America that depicts like man riding on what looks like a brontosaurus. You think
The
that might be
Flintstones?
fabricated?
Maybe they're just bad artists.
Maybe.
They were like camels looking things or something like that, or
Water
big
buffalo.
horses.
Things used to be.
Because even nowadays, there's different sized animals, even in the same species. Like horses, you have little Shetland ponies, but you also have Clydesdales. And have you ever seen a Clydesdale in person? That thing is gigantic.
Yeah.
Then you get freaky animal, like there's a dairy cow somewhere that's like 6 foot tall.
Yes.
Like the shoulders are 6 foot tall.
Well, look at the bugs and stuff they have in Brazil or South America and stuff like that. No, thank you. I'm not camping there.
Yeah. What about like woolly mammoth? I mean, obviously, you think those might be?
I don't know. They could just be big elephants.
So, have you guys watched? I'm trying to find what the documentary is, but about Sue, the dinosaur Sue, the T-Rex. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so good! And I actually went and saw her in the Chicago Museum.
Mm-hmm.
That's where she is now, and I suggest you watch that. Like, it explains like how they put the bones together, and she's almost all the way complete. But like everything around Sue and how, like, I want to say it's like the government came and swooped in and took her away from the people who actually discovered her because they said they were digging in like not their territory or something. Like, it's a whole story, but the dinosaur's name is Sue, and it is the best documentary I've seen. I love it. I loved every single part of it, but it talks about how they found
T-Rex
her.
named Sue, kind of like a boy named Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the government took her away, and the people were, they had her all put together, and so they actually helped remove all the pieces of her because they were scared that the people were going to destroy her, and she lived in a warehouse for a really long time in a bunch of storage bins.
Huh? See, the government, it ends up in the Smithsonian.
I don't understand
Yeah.
why they care, though.
What's that?
I don't understand why they care.
It just means there's something there they're hiding.
Oh,
What it
okay.
is, but that's the whole thing. Why? Yeah, why would they even?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, I think she got a fan running.
Maybe.
Sorry, you guys, my robot was going all loud, and
Oh,
that's
that
what
was,
that.
That was your vacuum?
Okay.
my vacuum. He goes off every day at 11 o'clock.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, your
Well-
time zone is way jacked up. These headphones are driving me insane.
Well, there's definitely something they're hiding. That's all I know. And there's more to the story. Like, there's Devil's Tower, I think it is. A lot of people believe that was a tree trunk, like from a humongous tree, like
That would be a big old
petrified,
tree.
because rocks don't form like that,
Yeah.
but trees petrify like that, and it forms like the base of a trunk of a tree.
Wow.
Yeah, there's that theory too.
See, I could see there being gigantic trees like that when there wasn't much population if they just kept growing.
Mm-hmm. Like
But-
a home tree, like an avatar.
No.
What?
I think I might be the only person in the world that hated that movie.
I wasn't a big fan of it.
I thought it was
and the second
stupid.
one blows.
I
so.
didn't even watch the second one.
Yeah, don't watch it.
As long as the first one?
It's longer.
So you're not watching 3
It's like-
and 4?
2 hours 40 minutes. What's that?
You're not watching 3 and 4?
No,
Okay.
no.
I didn't watch 2 because I thought the first one was bad.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
I was just like, no, thank you.
Like all kinds of crazy awards.
Yeah.
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 Because it was like the first big 3D thing.
Well, everybody
And
kept
it's-
telling me how awesome the colors were and this and that, and I was like, yeah, I guess.
If you
But
watch
the
it on
story
IMAX.
sucks.
They were on shrooms.
Might have been.
Ooh.
I swear
I like
some
where
of
you're
those
going.
movies are made for people that are high on something.
Some DMT.
Shrooms like makes everything more vibrant, so maybe that would be a kind of cool show to watch on shrooms.
Holly's gonna give
Well,
us a
zero
review.
experience with that, so I don't know.
I may have to. No, I'm not going to. No.
Well, we
Yeah,
know what
well-
Holly's weekend plans are.
Great. Avatar and shrooms. Perfect.
We texted Holly and never get any response till like Tuesday. Like, oh, what's up?
Psychedelic.
That's hilarious. Well, that definitely gives us something to think about.
Yeah, there's definitely more to the story.
Yeah.
There's so many weird things out there like that at some point my brain just shuts off and goes, whatever.
Yeah, like I said, we've mentioned it before. When you think you know, I personally believe there's way more than we can comprehend. There's just so much that they try so hard to cover up everything. They make it obvious and it gets sloppy. But we don't know what the truth is yet. But there's something more to the story. I believe in our history that they're trying to cover up and paint over. Control. It's always control and money. They want to control
Greed.
everybody. Weed?
Greed.
Oh.
Everything comes down to greed anymore, I swear.
Weed.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. That's another episode. So
Yeah.
everybody have a great weekend and God bless.
Be kind.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.